I've been blown away by these presentations. I did not know what I was expecting today, but I've learned a lot, and I'm just so impressed with what you've done. So maybe another round of applause for everybody who's been presenting. Yeah. So I just want to talk to you guys about sustainable cities, okay? And the word sustainable is something that you're going to hear, you're already hearing from politicians all the time, like guys like this guy. And a lot of people are going to use this word to try to, convince you of something or try to tell you about a project. But I want you guys to really think about what sustainable really means. Because a lot of time you'll see a project like this, and it'll be a big skyscraper, and it'll be beautiful. But is that really what sustainable means? Does anybody you know actually live in a place like that? No. Probably not, right? So I want you guys to think about, what are cities really like? What are they truly like? Where do we really live? And I think cities are messy, okay? I think the subway is busy. I think there's a lot of people there. I think food courts are busy. There's a lot of activity. And I think to be sustainable, we've got to think about how we make a messy city that's actually sustainable as well. So New York City is full of basements like these, okay? Under every single building, there's a basement. My company, we took over a basement downtown, and we decided to build in there. And we decided to build in this mess. And we put up racking systems, and we decided we were going to build a vertical farm. And now this farm is full of plants from all over the world. And we've taken that mess of the city, and we've made something really beautiful. And in that farm, we grow between 100 to 200 different kinds of plants. Cities are also hungry. Okay, you guys are hungry. It's getting to lunchtime pretty soon, I think. So if you think about the millions and millions of people in cities consuming food, that's a huge, huge, huge impact on the environment, okay? So choosing what we eat has a big, big impact as well. And a lot of the food that we eat in New York City, it comes from farms like this in Mexico, or in California, or even in Israel. And so it comes from a long way away. And that means that it has to go inside packaging, so you get really wasteful styrofoam packaging. It means that it goes on planes, so there's a lot of waste, a lot of emissions from the planes. And by the time it gets here, it's often really wilted and old. Have you ever picked up something from the supermarket and actually it's already old? It's already kind of out of date. So this doesn't feel like a sustainable solution to me. Instead, on our farm, because we grow in the city, just like some of you guys, we can actually package stuff up and deliver it the same day. And we can use reusable packaging. So we use these pans here that actually go to the restaurant, and then when they're done with it, they can give it back to us. So no waste at all. We can deliver on the bike and on the subway. So you'll see guys carrying these bags on the subway, which means that we don't have to have a truck, we don't have to use a plane. And it means we can actually meet the chefs who are using our food. So this guy is Victor Amarillo. He's from Venezuela. He's a cook downtown at La Turtle. And he loves our produce because he knows us. And that relationship is sustainable as well. So instead of getting produce from a farm that's 55,000 miles away, they're getting it from someone who's down the street. The last thing I want to say about cities is cities are huge and cities are diverse. And New York is a big city, but it's by no means the biggest city on the planet. This is a list of China's biggest cities, okay? And New York is only just above halfway on that list. There's cities you guys have never even heard of in China that are much bigger than New York City, okay? And so the problems that you're solving here, the solutions that you're creating, have impact all around the world. And so it's very, very powerful if you guys start to solve problems in the way that you are. What's this? Chicken nugget. Because cities are huge, what we eat has a huge, huge impact. And I don't really know what culture the chicken nugget really represents, you know? I don't think my grandmother knew what a chicken nugget was. I don't think any of your grandmothers knew what a chicken nugget was. The reason I think that's important is because what you eat has such a huge impact. And chicken nuggets are kind of made out of this industrial process, right? Have you ever seen this stuff? Yeah? the process that makes chicken nuggets, which is really factory farming, right? These huge, huge, huge farms. That's a farm on the left. You can see a few livestock dotted around. This is the runoff from that livestock, right? And exactly as people have said today, it goes into our rivers, it goes into our oceans, it affects our fish, it affects our plants, right? And so that little choice, that chicken nugget that seems like such a small thing, when you add it up into the scale of cities, it has a huge impact, okay? I want to show you something that's like the opposite of the chicken nugget, I think. Does anybody know what this is? Can you guess like what's... This is actually Vietnamese mint, okay? It's called King Goi. King Goi. And the reason why I think it's the opposite of a chicken nugget is that actually I think that does come from a cultural place, right? That comes from Vietnam, it comes from Southeast Asia, it comes from real food, and it's used in like salads like this that are actually really helpful and really flavorful and actually like connected to where people in this city actually come from. And you'll see this kind of produce in the markets and you'll see it being grown, and that like has a lot less impact, especially if you're growing it in some of the exciting ways that we've seen today. Hydroponics, indoor farming, urban farming. And so you can be confident if you're eating something like that and it's grown in the city that you don't have that kind of impact that that chicken nugget has. This is a farm actually in the Bronx. I don't know if any of you guys know it, but it's called Sky Vegetables, and they grow on top of a rooftop in the city. And as we've been talking about today, our city of New York has loads and loads and loads of places where you can grow. Could be rooftops, can be basements, can be anywhere. And so you guys have immense power to affect what people eat. And in our farm, for instance, this is just one selection of the things we grow. And we can grow plants that are from Vietnam, from Africa, from Mexico, from Europe, all under one roof. It's a very, very powerful way of growing that I'm really excited about. So the last thing I want you guys to think about is what actually makes a sustainable city. And as I've been saying, I don't really think it's pictures like this. I don't think that's what sustainability is. I think it's more pictures like this. Does anybody recognize this? It's Wakanda, right? All right. The reason I think that's a good picture to think about, to build sustainable cities, I think you can start really small. Like if you look into this picture, there's rooftops. There's people growing things in their backyard. There's the kind of projects that you've been working on today. You can start really, really small. You don't need $1 million to do a sustainable project. You're going to use technology, right? Wakanda is all about technology. And the projects that you guys have seen today are all about technology. You're about using stuff that didn't exist when I was a kid. Be real. Like grow things that actually your family has eaten for generations. Grow things that you can control the impact, that you can see how they grow. Do it yourself, okay? You don't need to wait for someone else to do something. You've seen people today who've already grown things and started to sell it at a farm stand. That's incredibly powerful. You don't need to wait for permission from a politician to do something sustainable. And grow food. Food is what we eat, obviously. Food has an impact. Food is about sharing. Food is about culture. All the projects that you guys are doing are connected to food. And that's truly, truly powerful. And that's how I think you guys will grow and build sustainable cities. So thank you very much, and well done to everybody who's presented today.